hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications, because if you really like just watching me draw and really try to get better at stylizing, it's not easy, but somehow, some way we'll get there. 3, 2, 1. Let's get started. So I've been drawing a lot of stylized character portraits, and it's mostly just to mainly to try to force myself to exaggerate proportions. So let's try to pick out a pose. So many poses I can choose from, you know. I do like relaxed poses. I do like this. If you don't know who this group is, it is Dreamcatcher. Let me try to find a decent action pose. Struggle. Okay, let's just pick one. I'm trying to find like a nice full body pose. That's just like the hardest part, is that most of these are like literally cut off. You can't really see their feet. You see certain parts, but like never just the full body. All right, let's just go for this one. All right. Let's go for this one. Let's go for this one. Okay, cool. Alright, let's get into it. Let me sharpen my pencil. A nice sharpened pencil is amazing. So she's leaning forward. Gonna erase this a little bit too. Gonna probably overlap that area a little bit. I like to just erase the area I'm about to draw over. It just makes it easier just to see what I'm drawing on top of, you know? And then her body is leaning a little bit forward. So there's that. And then, yeah, so she's leaning a little bit more forward. So this is just how I sort of break down the body. How I got used to breaking down the body. It's just sort of what I'm used to. And then her legs aren't like overlapping. They're not like cross-legged. The legs aren't crossed over one another. So they're just sort of, they're more leaned upwards, so there's that. And then trying to keep it somewhat, you know, I'm looking at the camera because the camera pretty much helps me to stay on reference, you know, on like, what do you call it? But anyways, I digress. It goes a little bit more upwards, so the legs are a little bit more arched upwards. So I'm just trying to make sure that that is accurate, you know. And then I think that's as accurate as it'll get. And then is it okay? So this leg is coming outwards at a 45-degree angle, and then this one is coming inwards just slightly. So that's good. A little bit of contrast. So she's leaning more inwards, which I didn't calculate. So she's leaning more inwards, which means she's coming in more like this. And then her pelvis or her torso looks a little bit like this. What do you call it? Yeah. This looks a little bit more accurate. And then her body, her arms is like meeting her shoulder. So this is her hand. So this is her arm. just sort of, I'm just trying to quickly establish where everything is in relation to each other, try to keep it accurate. You know what I mean? Anyways, this is her other hand. I'm just trying to follow what I see. This just sort of helps me to sort of establish where everything is in relation to each other, to try to keep it as accurate as possible. I really do struggle sometimes because I get so caught up with this sort of thing where like I try to be more intentional, but then when I try to be more intentional, I'm like, does this look good? Like, is it accurate enough? Like, I start doubting myself. I start doubting myself and like my ability to do certain things, and I'm like, no, you're doing great. Like, you're literally doing great. There's nothing to worry about. Like, you're doing your best. And then, yeah, anyways. So, yep, there we go. Everything looks good right now. Everything looks good, I believe. I think the only thing is, what I'm struggling with is that I'm not seeing it straight on. I'm seeing everything at an angle, and it's kind of skewing my perspective of what I'm looking at. It's really hard. I need to get like a proper drawing desk or something so that I can draw it at least like straight on, because I don't want my perspective to skew I don't want the angle of what. Okay. So I'm drawing at an angle. I'm not drawing it like I can see it straight on, like on an easel. So it's harder to try to make it look accurate perspective-wise if I'm drawing at an angle that is skewed, if that makes sense. Anyways, let's get back to drawing. Just, oh my gosh, the struggle of doing traditional art. This is what I mean. It's like, I'm doing traditional art and it's harder to try to like... The reason why it's harder is because I have a camera. And if I'm just drawing like this, you know, you won't see any of the drawing. So, yeah, my goodness. All right, just, you know, I just gotta work with it. It's all right. So the person has bangs, so I'm doing like a cutoff of like where the front would be, and bangs generally go from a point. So this is the point. So that's the bangs, and where everything is just sort of like from, you know, the point. Yeah. And then drawing like a overall shape. And then alright, I think that's good. And then the hands, I think that's good. They have like they're wearing a uniform, so the uniform has like these cuffs, and I'm just trying to be accurate, you know, with the folds, trying to worry about the details later. So that's where I'm placing the eyes. This is where I'm placing that. This is how I place the eye sockets. It's just easier to see it like almond shapes, just because generally part of the eye is open, so it just helps me to just sort of get that expression in there. But yeah. And then the eye is like angled a little bit. That's what I've noticed about like drawing certain things, is that certain facial features are the same, and so that's what I've gotten used to drawing. So I understand that like it's slightly angled a little bit, because not all face shapes are the same. Their face is a little bit more elongated, so it's a little bit more slender. So their nose is like about here is where I'm gonna place it. And again, I draw like a little triangle just to sort of establish where that would be. And then their mouth is like at a relaxed position, so it's like slightly opened. And this is just sort of like, I draw like a little, what do you call it? It's a mixture of like a trapezoid and crescent moon. And then underneath, I just sort of draw a little, crescent, or like a half. It's like a hemisphere, something like that. So that's just sort of like how I've always broken up the mouth and just sort of the face shape. Oh, yeah. See, this skew, like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, it doesn't look right, It doesn't look accurate. But anyways, I'm getting caught up in the detail. This is what happens when I get caught up in the detail. I, like, forget that, like, that's not the point. But again, this is just like this is supposed to be just fun, and sometimes I forget that. I get so caught up in the detail of like, that this is supposed to be for fun. This isn't like I'm drawing this for a contest and like money is on the line, This is just for fun. It's not like, it's just to sort of practice having fun drawing at home. No, there's no high stakes. This is just purely for my enjoyment and just for myself. This isn't for anybody, only myself. And so I just forget that, you get caught up in all the detail and you just forget that the reason you're doing this in the first place, and the reason why I'm doing this in the first place, is just because I just like drawing. I like drawing what I see, whether it's an idol, whether it's nature, whatever it is. Yeah. I just like getting into the zone. It's just fun. I don't know. I feel like this is where I feel like I kind of sabotaged myself. Like, the distance from here to here seems accurate, but then why does this seem so long, But I guess it's because this is foreshortened. So it is accurate. It's just I'm doubting myself. I'm starting to doubt myself. But it's to be expected with something like this. Anyways. They're wearing a uniform, and underneath here is like a little strap. And that's just what I'm drawing. It's a little strap. And then they're wearing like a boot. They're wearing like a high heel boot, Because again, this is like a stylized, or what do you call it? I feel like for, what do you call this? This is like a K-pop photo book. So like the way that the outfits that they wear is just very elegant, I feel. So yeah. That's just what I'm drawing. I'm just drawing what I'm seeing. But again, like, I really just enjoy drawing this because my favorite part of this entire process is just challenging myself to like do better, but also I really just like seeing what I create and then just being proud of it and just being in the moment, because it just really makes me feel grateful to be able to create stuff and enjoy the process of it. And if you take the time, even just for like a little bit, you know, whatever, or if you do like 10 minutes, an hour, or whatever, it's really fun. It's like, you know, you look back and you're like, wow, that's where I started. And so that's just sort of like where I'm at, you know? That's just where I'm at. And so that's literally how I feel about this whole process. Is like I made this. Me. I made this. Anyways, I'm just living in the moment. I'm also just struggling. Like, I'm trying to look at this. Does it look good? Her face is definitely longer, way longer than I would have liked. If I'm looking at it, the face is way too long. And I'm like nitpicking here because her face, her head is bigger than her face. Usually your hand fits your face, or like the front of your face. But I think I definitely overshot the head. I think what I should do is just sort of like bring it down just a little bit, and maybe that'll counteract how like how big I made her head. I don't know. Like, it was here, and I'm bringing it down here. Keep it at like a 45-degree angle so that I can look at it properly. You know what I mean? Like, my goodness. I'm just gonna do this real quick. Do this real quick. Let's see if I can just sort of fix it a little bit. Alright. It doesn't look that bad. It's just kind of like, I'm just trying to make sure that like everything looks accurate. I think the shoulders aren't wide enough. But yeah. Like, I feel like the shoulder should be like here, but like it should be leaning more inwards. It's just, everything's harder, I think. Yeah. I mean, again, like, this is the point, is to like really understand, because this is the first sketch. It's not meant to be perfect, but I get so caught up in the details that like I forget that, you know? So let's do like another quick one, but of the same pose, except I'm gonna spend maybe like 5 minutes on the whole sketch and just try to like really establish the stretchiness, or like the slouchiness of it, like the energy. Emphasize the energy of it, you know, like slouched. And this time I'm going to draw it like this, so hopefully you don't mind. Alright. So, don't know. It's so hard to see it when I can't see the entire pose. Like, some of it is overlapping, like the hand is overlapping the shoulder and I can't really see certain things. But like, it's so like, why? It's like her head is sort of tilted back, and it's just sort of throwing me off because like it's tilted. Like her body's tilted forward and then her head is tilted slightly back, and I'm just like, I don't know. Goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think. So this is the way that her body should look, but I'm like struggling. I don't know. The body. My goodness. I think that's pretty good. The placement of here, it would be here. The placement of the knee would be here. The other placement of the knee would be closer to here, which it's pretty accurate too. So there's that, and then so this arm would be here. I think I'm over exaggerating, so let's see. So this should be where this is because that would give it enough room, and then the other knee is slightly lower, so this would be here. So I think this is more accurate. So it's slightly lower than it was before, and that would give me enough room. So I think this is a good starting point. You know, this is a good starting point, and then that's where this would come in. I think that's a good starting point. It's just it's a struggle of like doubting yourself and then feeling like you got it right, but then coming back and looking at it, it just looks entirely off, and then you just want to rip apart the paper because it's like you got so invested in the moment and then you forgot to establish the important features, and it just all looks wrong. My goodness, that's like the cycle of being an artist is like, it doesn't look how you want it to, and then you're just like, oh, I hate this. Oh my goodness. Like, that's just how I constantly feel, and I'm just sitting here like why? Are you sitting here mocking me because it just doesn't look right? I don't know. It just don't look right, you know? And then but I think it's always good to go in with a second sketch, because you really force yourself to really try to be more aware of how you're placing certain things. So I think this second time around is pretty good. I'm really proud of like the improvements that I'm making, and to constantly do this, that's how you're gonna get better. It's just by constantly um, forcing yourself to see the details that you didn't realize were there earlier, because you can easily just get so fixated on one part that you just forget about, you know, everything else. You're like, you get so, it's what do you call it, it's tunnel vision. You tunnel so hard that like you forget about other pieces of the puzzle. So it's just always good to keep it in mind, because it's just so easy to get lost in the detail. And to me, I feel like that's the hardest part of being an artist. It's just forcing yourself to take a step back. Because I think the second time around, I think this definitely looks better than that. And I still haven't drawn the face. The face is the... I'm gonna be honest, the face is the hardest part for me. And I just like... Yeah. I just get so intimidated by it, and I just need to like not be so intimidated by it, you know? Alright, let me put it back at an angle because I can't really see what I'm drawing. Okay. I think I placed the jaw like too far back, like it needs to be here. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. And then I think that's a little bit better. Sometimes I speak too soon and I'm like, oh, that looks good. No, it don't. No, it don't. Stop. Before you jinx yourself, stop. You're gonna jinx yourself. Oh my goodness. Uh, yeah. It's just so easy, you know? I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, it looks a little bit better. Certain parts, again, like, there are certain things that I struggle with, and I'm like, don't look good. And then she has like this strap, you know what army people wear. I don't know what the name of it. It's like a little lace that sits around the shoulder. But yeah, I don't know how to draw it. It's just like a bunch of like strands, and it just sits over the shoulder like this. And then on top of that, there's like a little lace that wraps around the forearm, or like the tricep, whatever you want to call it. And then it has its own like detail. Yeah, so there's that. And then on top of that, the rest is just hair. The rest is just hair. Alright. I think that's it. I think we've established how to really break down the reference a little bit. It's not easy to just sort of explain it as I go. I struggle so hard to talk as I, draw. I just need to do more sketches. I need to do more gesture sketches, because I feel like gesture sketches help me to just really capture the pose rather than focus on all the details, and that's the most important part. Generally, as an artist, is to lay down the foundation and then go into the detail, because otherwise it just doesn't look great from the start, and then when you go into the final, it doesn't look the way you want it to. I think that's really cool. I think, myself, again, it's hard to draw at a skewed angle. It just doesn't look the way I want it to. The struggles of being an artist. It looks so derpy. It doesn't look the way I want it to, but that's okay. It's not supposed to. But you know what? I think that's the fun part of just sketching. You learn from your mistakes, and you learn how to do it better the next time. And this is what happens when you just get so caught up in the detail. But that's okay. It's okay to get caught up in the detail. Just do it better next time. And so I think that's it. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for supporting me. I'm constantly working on new videos, trying to really force myself to draw and share my art journey, because I think that's a really fun part of being an artist, is just being able to share your struggles and like really being able to connect through that. And if you're drawing, if you like to draw people, if you like to draw celebrities and idols, or just, anything, whether it's people or plants or animals or environments, buildings, I hope that you're doing well, and I hope that I hope things are going well for you. It's never easy being an artist, but it's always fun sharing your struggles with another person who also understands what it's like to yell and scream at your own creations because it doesn't look the way you want it to. But that's okay. That's the fun part. I would say that's the fun part. But anyways, I digress. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications, because if you really like just watching me draw and really try to get better at stylizing, it's not easy, but somehow, some way, we'll get there. It's never easy, but that's the whole point of being an artist, is just the struggle. But anyway, I really just enjoy sharing this process, so if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, see you next time in the next video. Peace out. Peace out, Team Scout. And I hope you enjoyed any part of this process of me drawing. I think it's really cool. Apologies for the heavy breathing. I got mild asthma. So thank you for watching, listening, all of the above. Peace out, Team Scout.